Hey folks, and now welcome to the vocabulary lesson. And now we're up to 170 of the vocabulary lesson. And now we're going to be talking about bind and spaz. Okay? So now we're going to be talking about spaz. Okay? So I'm sorry. We are going to be talking about bind. Okay? So bind is tie or fasten something tightly. The logs were bound together with ropes. Bound. Okay. I don't know why that will come up, but wow. Similar. The cohere, COHERE, or cause to cohere, COHERE, in a single mass. Mix the flour with the coconut and enough egg white to bind them. Similar, which is stick, cohere, hold on for a second. Let me get the phone. So, trying to get the this pronouncer here.
Cohere. Cohere.
Cohere. That's how you say it.
Cohere.
All right. So, cohere or cause to cohere in a single mass. Cohere. That's how you pronounce it. Cohere or cause to cohere in a single mass. Mix the flour with the coconut and enough egg white to bind them. Similar, which is stick. Cohere, noun. A problematical situation. He is in a political bind over the welfare issue. Formal. A statutory constraint. The moral bind of the law. So that's about it. So you see this here? Now as I go here, this is what it does right here, see?
Cohere. Cohere.
Cohere.
Cohere.
Cohere.
Cohere.
I press it. That's the audio right there, okay? So bind to bind means to tie things together or hold them tightly. It's like when you use a string to keep things attached to each other. Bind to bind means to tie things together or hold them tightly. Okay? So that's what it is, folks, okay? So for the example sentences here. So Mommy used a ribbon to bind the papers together so they won't fall apart. Mary used a rubber band to bind her hair and keep it in place. So, what does bind means? Bind means to put together. I binded my 2 bank accounts. That's what it is, folks, okay? Bind means to bind something together and to stick something together. Bind means is to tie or fasten something. She bind her with a seatbelt. To tie something or someone. Yeah. Bind is to tie something or someone tightly or to fasten something. They bound the packages with brightly colored ribbon. Bind together the 2 broken ends. The prisoner was bound hand and foot. Bind is to tie something around a part of the body, especially a part that is damaged. He had already bound the child's arm when I arrived to sew or stick material along the edges of something, such as a jacket, in order to make it stronger or to decorate it. The edges of the carpet are bound to stop them frying, to make separate pieces of paper into a book. There are several different ways to bind a book. For example, you can stitch or stick the pages together, used especially in cooking to make a mixture stick together in a solid mass, or to be made to stick together like this. Add enough water to bind everything together. The mixture wouldn't bind to combine with something by a chemical bond, the force holding atoms together in a molecule, or to be combined like this. Protein's ability to bind iron may enhance iron absorption in the body. The tissue cells will bind strongly to each other. Fewer examples. You may need more egg to bind the mixture. Turn the dough out onto a flour surface and knead lightly to bind. Androgens are hormones that enter the prostate cell and bind to the androgen receptor protein, a protein found on red blood cells, and sickle cell disease binds these cells to blood vessel walls. And people with diabetes, HDL molecules bind with a natural compound called myristic acid to unite people or to make them feel that they share something. The things that bind them together are greater than their differences. We have one country, one constitution, and one future that binds us. He said, close personal ties bind me to this place. To make your chest appear flatter by wrapping it very tightly with a piece of cloth or a binder. A special piece of clothing used for this purpose that helps hold your breast flat. I'm non-binary. Wow, that's a one hard word there. Okay, let me see how can I pronounce this here.
Non-binary.
Non-binary. That's how you pronounce it.
Non-binary.
Non-binary. And have been binding for a year now. He uses a tight sports bra to bind. It is crucial to practice proper safety when chest binding. Many trans men bind their chests as an alternative to or while waiting for top surgery. A difficult or annoying situation in which you are prevented from acting as you might like. Having to visit her every week is a terrible bind. Borrowing money may put you in a real bind. Bind is a difficult situation in which none of the choices available are good. If you lose a lot of your customers, you'll soon get in a financial bind. Okay? Bind. Transitive verb. If something binds people together, it makes them feel as if they are all part of the same group or have something in common. It is a memory and threat of persecution that binds them together. The social and political ties that bind the U.S. to Britain. Bind. To tie or wrap something with rope, string, etc. She bound her hair in a ponytail. The machine binds the hay into bales. Number 1, Verb. If something binds people together, it makes them feel as they are all part of the same group or have something in common. It is the memory and threat of persecution that binds them together. Okay? That's what it is, folks. The bind is to, like, the bind, is to, to hold them tightly, is to put them together. And together, okay, bind means to tie things together. Okay, so bind is to tie things together. Like, you're going to tie it in a knot, like that, like that. That's the way. And so, next word that we're going to teach, which is spaz. So, the word spaz is a noun, an incompetent or uncoordinated person. Verb, US, lose physical or emotional control. Spaz is to lose physical or emotional control. Spaz is a noun, plural, with spazzes. Spazzes is a plural. Slang, often offensive. One who is inept, klutz. Number 1, an awkward or clumsy person. An awkward or clumsy person. Verb, used without object. Spazzed, spazzing. Number 2, to move in an awkward or clumsy way, usually followed by out. She spazzed out and we had broken glass all over the floor. Number 3, to become more angry than a situation warrants, usually followed by out. Mom spazzed out when she smelled cigarette smoke on my clothes. So now, from that movie, the Ninja Turtles movie from the 1990. Donnie says, I guess they're not game show fans. Mikey says, and I thought everybody loved Vanna. So one of those Foot Clans are trying to attack the Turtles. So now those ninjas, the Foot Clans, are trying to kill the Turtles, with their own weapon, like an axe. So they're trying to kill him, so, and then Donnie says, California roll! And Mikey says, what a spaz! That's what they said in the movie. All right, so, and an extremely offensive word for a stupid or clumsy person. Wow. So spaz is an extremely offensive word for a stupid or a clumsy person. I'm going to say it again. That will be one last time. An extremely offensive word for a stupid or clumsy person. That's it. An extremely offensive word for a person who has cerebral palsy, a condition of the body that makes it difficult to control the muscles. Spaz, noun, is just like offensive slang. That's the one, folks, okay? Number 1, a grotesquely awkward person. Number 2, an eccentric person. Verb, word forms, spazzes, spazzing, or spazzed. Verb, word forms, spazzes, spazzing, or spazzed. Number 2, lose control, lose self-control. To lose self-control. That's what it is with the word spaz. Spaz is like U.S. slang, often offensive. A person who is very clumsy or awkward, klutz. I'm a real spaz on the ski slopes, okay? That's what it is. Spaz means when someone moves really fast and loses control. That's the one. Okay, so that was from the from that Ninja Turtle movie when Donnie says California roll, like when Donatello was rolling down his back like that, you know. He was like, California roll, like that, you know. And then Mikey just says, woo, what a spaz. See? It's like saying like California roll and what a spaz. It's like saying like when someone moves really fast and loses control. It's like that, you know. It's like when you run around quickly and bump into things because you're so full of energy. Example sentences. Jack was so excited to play outside that he started to spaz and ran all over the yard. Sarah's little brother is a spaz when he gets too happy and starts jumping up and down. Spaz means to lose physical or emotional control. I had a spaz attack, which means to have a twitch. Spaz means it's clumsy. That's what it is. Spastic. Spaz means a person who does not have control on his physical body or loses control. The boy spazzed out with his hand, causing him to drop his plate, which broke on the floor. Spaz means it's a sudden fast movement. The car crashed in a small accident, but the spasmodic movement of the arm hurt the driver. Spaz is a slang word that's put down connotation. People use that in a negative slant. If somebody doesn't like the way somebody's acting, they will call them a spaz. Someone is throwing an insult at you. I spaz out, like you're saying, what the hell? It's like saying like I spaz out. It's like saying, what the, well, it was like, what the hell? I was like, when I said, what the hell? I spaz out. That's what that is. I spaz out. I don't know the meaning of that part, but I know it's like spaz means it's like when you move fast and you lose control, like when you lose control and with your emotional. When you lose physical or emotional control, that's the one. Spaz is to lose physical or emotional control. That's just what it is, folks. Okay. So now, spaz is an extremely offensive word for a stupid or clumsy person. It's a stupid and a clumsy person, so that's the one. An extremely offensive word for a person who has cerebral palsy, a condition of the body that makes it difficult to control the muscles. Number one, an awkward or clumsy person. Number two, to move in an awkward or clumsy way. That's what it is. Usually followed by out. She spazzed out and we have broken glass all over the floor. Number three, to become more angry than a situation warrants. Usually followed by out. Mom spazzed out when she smelled cigarette smoke on my clothes. A grotesquely awkward person, an eccentric person, an incompetent person, to lose self-control. Verb spazzes, spazzing, or spazzed. Those are the one, folks. Spaz. Someone regarded as being clumsy, awkward, stupid, odd, etc. That's the one. One who is considered clumsy or inept. Spaz out is a like a phrasal verb. It's a phrasal verb. Spaz out, it means to become angry, upset, or excited. That's the one. Spaz is to lose self-control. Spaz is to lose self-control. Okay? That's the one. Spaz is an incompetent fool. Spaz is an incompetent fool. Spaz is an incompetent fool. So that's it. Spaz is like, you know, it means differently, you know. So spaz is to move in an awkward or clumsy way. That's just what it is. So a spaz is a I'm trying to put a whole lot of knowledge on that word spaz, because it's a powerful word with the word spaz. It has all those definitions on that. It has like a lot of meanings and definitions and different way of saying it with the sentence, you know. So it's a powerful word. But all right, so you know what? See you later, folks. Hope you guys enjoy the lesson.